Christian Horner has now fully ended his time with Red Bull, and the path ahead for him looks very intriguing. Reports link him with a quick return to Formula One, either as a team boss again or as a part owner of a team. Several teams are said to be seriously interested. The big question is whether he can change the culture and lift a smaller team, or if a giant like Ferrari will decide to bring him in and listen to his ideas. No one doubts that Horner helped Red Bull achieve huge success. Under his watch, the team won title after title and became a powerhouse. But the fall that followed was sharp. Red Bull went from constant champions to finishing fourth in the constructors' standings, and their car lost performance badly. Helmut Marko pointed the finger at Horner's leadership, and the internal drama did not help either. In the end, whether fair or not, Horner took the blame for the team's struggles. Now he is out, and he seems ready to come back in an even bigger role. For the moment, Horner is a free agent, but he does not plan to stay that way. He reportedly received around $100 million from Red Bull in a settlement, which gives him real financial strength. That money could allow him to buy into a team and return as early as mid-2026. So the idea of Horner not only leading but also owning a stake in an F1 team is not far-fetched at all. Ferrari remains a live possibility. Yes, Frédéric Vasseur has extended his deal, but in F1 nothing is permanent. Contracts depend on results, and Ferrari's 2024 season has not matched expectations. Many have linked this to Vasseur's push for a new car concept that has not delivered the hoped-for gains on the SF25. With Lewis Hamilton joining, expectations were sky high. Instead, Ferrari still has no race wins, and Hamilton has yet to stand on the podium in red. That is not a season anyone at Maranello wants to remember. A change in leadership could be the kind of shock that helps them reset. It's true that Horner's exit from Red Bull was messy and strained relationships, but we should remember the full picture. Under his leadership, Red Bull won 7 constructors' titles and 8 drivers' crowns. He guided the team through the tough Renault years of the early turbo-hybrid era and helped lead them back to the front with Max Verstappen. Horner has also shown he will go to bat for his drivers, even marching to see officials when he feels something is unfair, as we saw at the 2024 Jeddah weekend. That kind of visible support can be powerful inside a team. This is not to say Vasseur lacks those qualities. He is respected and has led high-level projects for many years. But Ferrari is a uniquely complex team, and right now they seem to be falling short in multiple areas at once. Strategy calls go wrong. Factory parts do not match what the car actually needs. The result is a group that looks disjointed. It would be unfair to say this is all on Vasseur. Big teams are complicated, and many people share responsibility. Still, in F1, the team principal often pays the price. Horner did at Red Bull, and Vasseur might at Ferrari if results keep falling short. A mid-season change at Ferrari is unlikely, and renewing Vasseur while Horner was on the market shows Ferrari's current faith in the Frenchman. But even the most patient board has a limit. If performance fails to improve, Ferrari's drivers and senior figures will start to ask if the current leadership can actually win titles. It is also worth noting that Red Bull's step forward after Laurent Mekies took charge of key areas led to 2 straight Verstappen wins tied to a new floor in Monza and a new front wing in Baku. You have to wonder whose leadership set that up, Horner's before he left or the structure that remained afterward. If Ferrari is not the answer, there are other doors. Alpine is an obvious project. The French team has had a rough time for the last few seasons and hit a low point in 2025 with only 1 driver scoring points and the team sitting last in the constructors. Their second seat for 2026 is also unclear, and their recent form has not built confidence. From the outside, Alpine looks like the kind of turnaround job Horner would relish. He likes big challenges and has the drive to see them through. He would, however, want real control. If he is going to be judged on results, he will want the authority to make deep changes. That is where investment comes in. With the money he received from Red Bull, he could put his own capital into the team and secure the senior role he wants. A backing group could also join him if needed. There is, though, one question Horner would have to answer for everyone. Can he fix the second driver issue that was never really solved at Red Bull? Of course, it is hard to measure anyone next to Verstappen, so that situation was extreme. Alpine might be a different story, and with the new 2026 regulations, the field will reset in many ways. Fresh rules bring new winners and new losers. Horner's experience could help Alpine make the most of that change, whether as a leader, an investor, or both. There is also a wild card, Haas. The American team has made clear progress since Günther Steiner left and Ayao Komatsu took over. Komatsu is praised for his strong technical background, which gives Haas a solid engineering focus. That kind of technical leadership is something people often say Horner does not have. When a team struggles, critics will point to that and ask whether a non-technical boss can really drive performance. But Horner's strengths are different and valuable. He brings authority, confidence, and huge name recognition. He knows how to build a winning culture, attract talent, and protect his drivers and staff. If a man with his track record is available, any team should at least ask whether he is the right person to lead them to the next level. Haas has never stood on an F1 podium. They had a couple of decent midfield years but have struggled to get back to that standard. Being 8th in the standings is not the dream, yet there are positive signs. They have a promising young driver in Oliver Behrman and an experienced race winner in Esteban Ocon. That is a solid pairing to build around. On top of that, Haas is a Ferrari-powered team and will remain so under the 2026 rules. If the new Ferrari power unit is as strong as many expect, a leader like Horner could help Haas convert that into results that once felt out of reach. This does not mean Komatsu would be pushed out. On the contrary, his leadership and technical guidance are important and would still be needed. A structure where Horner acts as the overall leader and Komatsu remains the technical anchor could suit them well. Could Horner buy a major stake in a team like Haas or Alpine? It is possible. He has the resources to put money in himself, and with partners, he could do even more. Ownership would give him the freedom to set direction and timelines which any top leader wants, but it would also carry risk. Buying into a team can lock you into a long rebuild, and the 2026 rule change will throw many variables into the mix. Horner will pick carefully. In the end, Horner has options and leverage. He can aim high with Ferrari if the door opens. He can take on a rebuild at Alpine with both authority and investment power. He can try a hybrid approach at Haas, pairing his organizational skill with Komatsu's technical expertise. There will be other teams watching too, ready to make their pitch. For now, he is taking time to think, reportedly even planning a quiet honeymoon in Scotland with his wife while he weighs his choices, but it seems clear he will not stay out of the sport for long. So would Horner be a smart fit for Ferrari given their needs and expectations, or would a rebuilding team like Alpine or a growing project like Haas get the most out of what he brings? Which team do you think should move first to secure him, and why? Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. See you in the next video.